Hi everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids. The new patch has just gone live, so stay tuned, plenty of videos coming out today, looking at the skins, the clan shop, all that sort of stuff. But I wanted to start out with a little bit of fun, which is just doing some initial testing here with Yakarl the Scourge, who got a really big buff. So his A1 now has a 40% chance to freeze, that books up to 50% chance to freeze on each hit, so his A1 is really good, and he ignores 25% of the target's defense if the targets are under freeze debuffs. That's amazing. His A2 does mostly the same stuff. This is already a very hard-hitting move, really good chance to decrease speed and to freeze the target and also steal all of their turn meter and give Yakarl increased speed. Goes up to 100% chance to do all of that when fully booked. Now it ignores 50% of the target's defense if the enemy is frozen. Awesome. And then his A3 got very much reworked. It's now an AoE attack that has a 75% chance to freeze. An AoE is a 100% chance to freeze if your enemies have 75% or more turn meter, and crucially cannot be resisted if they have 75% or more turn meter. Makes him amazing and like a go first sort of arena team, and we're going to be trying him out in the arena today as well. His passive has been reworked as well, 10% more damage and 10% less damage for every enemy under a freeze debuff. In fact, it actually says for each champion in battle under a freeze debuff. Now that's interesting, for each champion in battle. So I guess that actually counts your own champions as well. So if we go up against a Torment team, will we get damage bonuses if our champions are frozen too? That's cool. And he also just gets unkillable buff on a 3-turn cooldown. He gets a 1-turn unkillable whenever he kills an enemy under freeze, which is pretty good. 33% attack in all battles aura. I have him obviously going into Helm Smasher. I have him down into the defense tree for chances to counterattack. Could be really strong as well. Like if our team gets frozen and his damage gets upped and then he gets to counterattack, that could be very good. Crucially with his masteries, I will say this, you definitely want Opportunist. 12% more damage against frozen targets. That's going to be very important for him. Helm Smasher, very important to ignore more defense. That scales really well with his innate defense ignoring. Unfortunately, I don't have him in Savage set right now for this initial testing. I have him in very reasonable gear, and he's unbooked. So he's got over 5,000 attack, but only 200,000, sorry, 200,000% crit damage. No, 200% crit damage, but we do have high accuracy. We've got good speed. He's squishy, but let's see how he works. This should be very intriguing. We'll just jump into floor 1 of Hard Doom Tower first, check out his animations, check out how hard he is hitting, and we can sort of judge stuff from there. So first of all, let's boost up our attacks. We've got 2 of these guys. So we're going to make our targets, these do, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called, but they're going to be our target. We're going to decrease defense and weaken with Lydia. Okay. We can just, we'll just target the pig here with an ally attack, give us some turn meter. We can see his A1 hitting hard. So we know for a fact that his A2 Blizzard Rider has a 6 times multiplier, and they're not frozen. Let's see how hard this hits. So it's hitting for 71,000 damage, right? Pretty good damage. Let's go in again, and let's actually see his, oh, of course, they still haven't fixed the bug with the multi-battle stuff. That's fun. To fix this bug where you get that error, turn off your super raids in the Doom Tower bosses. That's what causes that error. Let's do the exact same thing now, but now let's try out his A3. See the new animation, first of all, and then also see how hard it's hitting. So we did 70k. 70k with that by default. So here we go. It's new Glaciate A3. Boom. Hits for 70k as well. So, that's kind of insane. Is there a 6 times multiplier? Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Could there be a 6 times multiplier on his AoE, which is nuts? If that's true, that's crazy. Let's fix the bug. Here we go. If that's true, I don't know if that's true. Let's try it again. But it looks to be. It looks like he's going to absolutely smack, which is, yeah, that I don't even know what to say. That is nuts. Possibly Helm Smasher procced one time and it didn't the other time. We're going to do the exact same thing here. So let's try out his AoE again. Here we go. Okay, 65k. So 60, about 60,000. That's a really good AoE. You can see now the replay button works, which is good. I believe he will auto into his A2. I'm pretty sure he autos into his A2 though. So let's see. We do his A2, 70k. So yeah, if he's doing 70k with a 6 times multiplier in his A2, unless they nerf that multiplier, the dude is absolutely smacking on his AoE. Like, not even a question. He's absolutely smacking crazy damage. Let's have him go again. Here he goes. Boom. Okay, that time it only did 40,000. Did less damage there. So, interesting. Let's go see him in arena. Let's do some initial arena testing, but from what I can see, it looks like his multiplier is really good. Now, obviously, that will be confirmed properly by data mining and more extensive testing, but for some quick initial testing, seems pretty strong. Let's try him out against some teams. So the team comp I was thinking of trying him with is actually this one, a freeze comp. So you got Prince, this is obviously a bunch of Void legendaries pretty much, and Prince Kymar, who's basically a Void legendary. But let's try him out here. Let's try him out, and let's see what he does. I'm very excited to test this. So here we go. Look at this. They're frozen. So this is great. Haha. Enemy team has been frozen. Okay. Let's hex them as well so we can start petrifying them too. Let's see how hard he's going to hit Arbiter. She is frozen. We're going to ignore 50% of her defense. Boom. 95,000 damage. That is not bad. And bearing in mind, guys, he's not in Savage Gear. He only has 200% crit damage. Now let's go in with his AoE. Boom. Killed those guys. Didn't kill him. That's okay, though. Let's come back around. We can hex him again. She's giving us increased attack, of course. Yeah, just a normal Blizzard Rider. 41,000 damage right there. Boom. That's pretty impressive, guys. Man. Okay, let's go up against Torment. Now, this is going to be an interesting thing to take a look at. Is he going... Let's put it to 1x speed. Okay, we're going to sleep them. When we get buffed up, it might hex him, which could be bad. It might freeze him. Let's do this. Are we going to get frozen? Their Torment has not frozen us, and our Torment has not frozen them. Oh, we got... Okay, so he actually got killed right there. That's unfortunate. So this one's not going to go well. This is definitely not going to go well. We might want to just back out of this one, go again. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to lose this one, unfortunately. He did get killed, so he is still squishy. But it's interesting to test out. Here's another sort of team. Let's try this one as well. Interesting to test out. How tanky can you make him? If he takes 10% less damage for everyone who's frozen, that could be really, really good. She actually gets frozen right there. Let's strip them, sleep them. Okay. We do want to up his attack. Then again, I also don't want to wake them up. Let's do this first. Let's see how hard he's going to hit. We can actually, look at this, we can actually get a potential guaranteed freeze out here. Her turn meter actually is not over 70%. Let's see if we freeze her anyway. Boom, AoE, we actually get the freeze out. We got a couple of freezes out. Now the nice thing with Torment's A3 actually puts on block buffs and block healing when they're frozen already, which is pretty cool, which is going to let Yakarl potentially come in and do some cool stuff. Now Yakarl has been frozen. Should be reducing his damage taken though, in theory, which is kind of fun. It's just A1 with Torment. He missed. Yakarl has been provoked. Unfortunately, onto someone who's petrified, though he has frozen. I guess one fun thing as well is he's going to do more damage. Let's see if we can kill the Trunda. He's going to do more damage on the second hit of his A1, isn't he? Because his A1 can freeze on both applications. This enemy Torment seems to have very low accuracy. Right, who do we want to kill? Let's just kill the... let's kill Lydia. Bonk. We got frozen because of he stole turn meter and he tried to put increased speed on himself, so he actually froze himself. That's slightly unfortunate, but we're going to win this one anyway. Let's just leave it on auto here. Let's see what Yakarl is going to do. He's obviously going to smack him with Blizzard Rider, steal his turn meter. He's got frozen again. But yeah, bam. And he gets that unkillable buff. I mean, he's pretty cool. He is pretty cool. Now, we can't fight this team because Foley resists free. Same thing with this team. Let's fight the super tanky team. Here we go. Cool. Another fun little test here. Can we actually take down the super tanky team? I'm going to suspect... Well, it's not super tanky, but can we take down this tanky team? I'm going to suspect probably not. This team might be our doom. Right. Let's play it a little bit risky. Let's go in and let's hex them. We might get killed with Yakarl. We actually didn't. So what do we want to do here? Who do we want to target? Do we want to... I think we just smack Duchess. You know, I probably should have gone... Oh, I should have gone into my AoE. You know what? Let's actually redo that. That's what I should have done. I should have done his AoE. Let's redo it with his AoE and see if we can get that guaranteed freeze on everyone. So he is, I'm pretty sure, going to auto into his A2. We can test that too, but we definitely don't want him to do that. So we want to do the same thing here. We want to strip these enemies. Now, this is bad. Mountain King didn't get stripped. And Mountain King has blocked debuffs. Oh, and Yakarl got frozen. Okay, let's throw it again. I know I'm wasting my stuff here, but that's totally fine. It was the point of me starting to get that. I started to buy the monthly gem pack specifically for this, so we can like repeat stuff and really test it out without worrying too much. We'd love to strip Mountain King. Didn't get it. That's okay. Here we go. We need him to not be frozen. All right, now here we go in. We should... I guess Duchess isn't fast enough, but we should freeze the other guys. Boom. We froze the other two. Duchess resisted. It had too much stuff right there. And Mountain King is probably going to kill us now, one would assume. But now we can come in and we can do our A3 with him, which is the nice thing of placing block debuffs and block healing on him. So it's cool. Unfortunately, of course, it didn't work right here, and we've got no way to remove our debuffs. Unfortunately, we got frozen. We removed the freeze and got refrozen because she put buffs on. So we're not going to be able to probably beat this team because we lack a reviver. That's definitely a weakness of this team. We lack the reviver. I mean, maybe we could win eventually, but it's not looking too good. So definitely keeping him alive is a bit of a challenge. Now, I think, who are the champions that are really going to synergize with him? Let's talk about that for a second. We can see some of the strengths and weaknesses there. So I think the big one that's going to synergize with him is Nekret. Nekret's going to be super good. Gives him a huge amount of protection. Block debuffs, strengthen, ally protection. Gives him a huge shield whenever he's attacked. That's going to be a big deal. Now, Nekret also does ally attack. And guess what? Guess what? Yakarl's A1 hits really hard. It ignores defense if they're frozen. It has a really good chance to freeze by itself. Yakarl's going to be very scary with that ally attack. So I think Nekret, he's a really good one to put with Yakarl. Obviously, the one I'm using right here, I think Torment. Torment is an excellent one because he can freeze with his passive. If they're frozen, Torment can put block buffs and heal reduction. He can provoke, he can freeze, he can do all this sort of stuff. So Torment is a really good one for the arena to put with him. I think another good one I don't have, obviously, but is Gurgo. Gurgo is going to be very good. So Gurgo can remove 2 random buffs from all enemies and then has a 100% chance to freeze, gives himself an extra turn. So Gurgo is going to be very good. Gurgo can also freeze if he loses lots of HP in a single attack. Gurgo hits hard if the enemy is frozen, extra hits if the target is frozen. So Gurgo is going to be very good buff stripper. Instead of Prince Kaimar, we bring in Gurgo potentially to freeze and remove this stuff. Now, if we do that, we lose Kaimar's speed aura, and we probably want to be going first, unless we're really relying on Torment. So we might want to bring in an Arbiter in that sort of situation. I mean, let's try him out with an Arbiter sort of team, shall we? That's it. Let's refresh this page. Let's see him against this sort of team. Here we go. So if I go in, and actually, so my standard team that I use for Classic Arena is actually like this. So I have Kaimar to strip, Torment can freeze if we're not first. Let's take out Foley, and let's put in Yakarl, and let's see how this works. Will this work? Foley's normally great because he can block revive, but let's see how this goes. So we got some of them frozen. We're able to cut in then. So look at this. He does default into that move, which we do not want. Luckily, they're frozen again. Oh, look at this. Actually, we put him with Kaimar, and that's really bad. He gets reset, and he just goes back into it again. So they're going to get res now. We should hopefully be fine, though. We'll see. He should have his AoE. Oh, no, he won't have his AoE reset. So we're going to have to switch up our strategy here. Boom. Kaimar actually kills half of them, which is cool. So let's switch up his AI. Let's actually redo this particular battle. Let's switch up his AI. So we're going up against this guy. And let's go into the AI settings. And let's tell him we want him to prioritize his A1. We at least want him to open with it. We could open with the AoE, and then we could follow up with Blizzard Rider to pick some of them off. Let's try that. Let's try that. So we'll open with Glaciate. He'll get his cooldown reset, but then the second hit, he's going to go into a different move instead. Okay, so we got Slightly Wrecked. This is actually going to be an interesting one. We got Slightly Wrecked there. We get a res off. Okay. Yeah, let's just do it manual. So Kaimar sleeps. And we can just hit her. So let them sleep through. Now, check this out. This is going to be pretty good. Not going to freeze Ray, guarantee, but we will guarantee freeze Arbiter. In fact, we basically killed her. And now we can basically hit auto. And, yeah, he's going to finish it off with a single target. That's actually pretty nice. That's pretty nice. This team is a Hegemon, won't fight them. Let's try a super tanky team, sure. Let's try this team. This is so interesting to me. But yeah, guys, what do you think of Yakarl so far? What do you think? Does he look good? Does he look bad? Look at that. AoE freeze goes out. Then we get the heal reduction. Boom. Then he comes in. He's going to steal turn meter. Gives himself unkillable. And then he's going in with glaciate again. And like this enemy team, they can't put buffs on. They can't heal. They're getting just completely run over. Bonk, bonk. Another kill for Yakarl. Yakarl goes down at this point because I haven't built him with any health whatsoever. But Tormund's pretty much going to walk in and finish the job. Now, obviously, I've been putting him in with really cool champions. Like, oh, of course she gave herself 3 turns of block damage. Ah! And of course, she resisted the Kymar removal and the Arbiter removal. Oh, no, she's got 1 turn left. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this dude, guys. Initial testing, initial look, he seems to hit really hard. He seems to do a lot of damage. He really does. I'm going to rebuild him. Let's try this real tanky team. I think the irresistible freeze is really nice as well. Yeah, that is pretty spicy. Boom. Froze half of them. Block buffs. I mean, the combo with Tormund is great. Now, he's frozen himself because he hits Tatura. That's a little unfortunate. So, for example, right here, let's actually take manual control of him. And let's actually have him, boom, glaciate again. I mean, he's ripping through. He's absolutely ripping through. I know it's only go 4, but like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Yakarl right now. I'm super impressed. I guess the only downside is that he really scales well with specific legendaries, I think. So Tormund, Gurgo, Prince Kymar, ones that can freeze is sort of my initial thought. But I was actually shocked by how much damage he seems to be doing at Glaciate. Like, it seems to hit real hard. This seems to hit real hard. We get an extra 20% damage with books. His A2, 10% damage with books. A1, 10% damage with books. So that doesn't scale too crazy. But yeah, I think we put this dude in Savage gear, and he's going to be pretty crazy. Yo, Mac-chan, you're probably not watching, but Mac-chan, if you are watching, I'm looking forward to Mac-chan's video. He's got a +4 Yakarl. He'll have him in the best gear possible. It's going to be pretty disgusting. But my initial impressions, is Yakarl the Scourge good? Yeah, Yakarl the Scourge is a monster now. He's super good. Okay, to remind you guys, do I have him in crazy gear? No. Bearing in mind, he has 1600 base attack. I've got him up to 5000. That is not crazy. I've got him a little bit faster than many nukers, but only 200% crit damage. And the dude, he is absolutely slaying fools. So yeah, this is pretty hype. This is pretty hype. Yakarl the Scourge, I think he's the real deal, guys. He finally lives up to his skin. Yeah, I will see you soon for more, when I've actually got to test him out for longer, seen him in more action. I'll come back and I'll try to do a Yakarl the Scourge guide for you guys. Absolutely, I'll have a guide on him fully booked before you're going to be able to finish him from your clan shop. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.